Should we mute us?
Yeah,
I
can
got
can
Terry on, but I muted everybody.
yeah, please. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, wherever you are.
I'll call you after I'm done.
Could you mute yourself, please?
Yeah, that's okay. I told them, but they will
Hey,
call.
Tom Stevens, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Can you mute yourself? I'm going to mute you. Okay.
Bye.
Okay, I'm going through doing my mute walk here. Good Lord.
Hello.
Could you mute yourself, please, everybody? For some reason, my muting isn't working. Okay, now it is. All right. Yeah, so as I said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope the weather's great. Hope you're doing well. My name is Terry Matthews. I am the host of Harmonize2Energize, which I present along with mystery presenters once a week on a Friday, 2 o'clock New York time. Welcome any new people. If you're not familiar with the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU, or you've just heard about it, it's an art of harmonizing life energy, sometimes called chi or ki, as it moves or not through the body congruently. It moves through the body in energy channels, which acupuncturists call meridians, and we call them energy channels, and we can place our hands on what we call safety energy locks, and there's 26 of them left and right of the spine and 3 in the arms, to actually regulate the movement of this chi or ki as it passes through these pathways. And we can place the palms of our hands, the back of our hands, and our thumbs, or if you don't have them, you could try your feet if you're very flexible, and you place them on these energy locks, and they're the size or the width or diameter, whichever word you prefer, of your palm of your hand. So they're fairly large in this, you're tiny. And once that harmony comes, we can look forward to a balanced sense of who we are. This Friday, like several Fridays, is an opportunity for a guest presenter to come on, which gives me the opportunity to disappear for at least 40 minutes, and unless they want me to hang around. And these guest presenters are from the community. They're students or instructors of the art of JIN SHIN JYUTSU. And today it is no less than, where are you? Where are you? I need to hold my middle finger or something. Oh,
I'm hiding in the mystery box. I renamed myself Mystery.
Yeah. Well, the mysterious Sara Harper.
I was being mysterious.
Yeah, welcome, Sara.
Yes, I can rename myself now.
But if not familiar to many of you, I will hand it over completely to Sara so that she can introduce herself. There you go, Sara. Welcome.
Hey, well, thank you, Terry. Thank you for inviting me. I am delighted to be here. Kind of had a rough morning. I'm coming with a little bit of need this morning. We were up at 2 in the morning taking a cat to be euthanized, and a dear pet friend. So I'm kind of on edge today, and a neighbor came over right before this to say goodbye. And so at any rate, that's where I am truthfully in this moment. And so I'd love for y'all to hold a little space for me, because I've just had a rough morning.
What was the name of your cat?
Old age and...
No, what was the name of your cat?
Oh, what was his name? Shaq.
Oh, okay. I'm going to put my hands together.
He outran coyotes. He had a million lives, this cat, and surprised us every day with his adventures. He was very loving, very sweet. So any rate, hold some space for me today. I'm just feeling it. And, you have these pets and this is going to happen at some point, but this is the moment I'm in with it right now.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
And I feel that everybody else does.
Yeah.
Okay, for Shaq, bless your heart. Bless Sarah, bless the family.
Yeah, thank you. A lot of second depth. So here's what I'm going to do for that second depth day. I'm going to be holding my ring finger like this. Maybe we can all do that for this moment, just quietly while we're doing this. One of the things Mary said for really deep grieving, to let the ring finger come down and just hold this way when you've got a good big grief project. And of course, she always said the cure for grief is tears. And letting them flow. And so if you want to just exhale, inhale. And I love this hold. I feel so supported when I do it this way versus this way. And you can do either, both are great. But during that grieving process, Mary said to really let that ring finger come down, let those fingers rest on the hand this way. I utilized this for years after my parents' death. And it just was so comforting and relieving. Yeah, because isn't that the big piece? Grief is, we're such a culture of unattended grief. And I just guess I really wanted to name it today. Here's what's going on for me, and just appreciate the support. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So Terry, I'd love for you to kind of preface and catch me up to date on where you guys are with the third depth. And I was so sparked by what we talked about over the phone. And sorry, I'll lose my makeup here today. I would love for you to spark me on that. Oh, something happened with your video. Are you still there, Terry?
Yeah, I'm still there. This has happened, and it's not the signal because I can see the number of bars. I have no idea why this happens, but it has happened before.
Okay. You're looking really strange in your video at the moment.
Sometimes there you go. Sometimes
There you
it's
go.
an energy thing.
Ghosty.
You're getting ghosted. You're getting ghosted by Shaq, man.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, hey.
It was. You can see it on the video next time.
Yeah.
Replay. It was bizarre.
Okay, could everyone mute themselves? Okay, so yeah, okay, to catch you up. Yeah, last week we actually practiced both sides of the mediator flow, 36 breaths. And I was talking in terms of how the unmanifest aspect of third depth could be represented by the mediator, because third depth doesn't actually create all the other organs until after, it doesn't create itself until after the liver and gallbladder, until after it's created all the other organs. So we experienced the mediator, and I prefaced that with, the suggestion is 80% of our disharmonious conditions are created by our emotional attitudes, our responses to the environment. So therefore, the mediator is very, very handy for balancing all the different attitudes. So does that help you as a lead-in?
Yes. And so I was super excited about it, third depth, because one of the things that I've really been chewing on and thinking about is gallbladder function energy. And what a mysterious organ. I would have to say it's the one that I say is the most not understood. And even in traditional Chinese medicine, they call it the curious organ. Have you made me co-host? Can I share some screen?
Hold on, I will.
I would love to share what I'm excited about with this. And
Gallbladder is the curious one, honey.
yes, a curious organ. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's referred to as a curious organ. And I always say it's the mysterious organ. It's the one that we're never really going to know about, right? And so here I'm going to talk about that. To me, it's like an unmanifest, but bringing in manifestation. And when we look at sixth depth, am I okay to share my screen for a moment?
I made you co-host, so far away.
Okay, I am. Give me just a second here, and let's see. Wait a minute. I'm going to share this screen, and
There you go.
I'm going to go. I actually am going to go share something else first, and then come back to this. I want to go to an order of creation. Let me just take a moment here to scroll my slides. Okay. In the order of creation, we have the blueprint of the sixth depth, that primordial fire. And then we go here, and it's liver that becomes lung. We go to our first depth, our fifth depth, our fourth depth, and back to the third depth. But in the books, when we look at the beginning of our text too, it says liver becomes lung function energy. There's, but you have to have the quintessence, all the elements, all the four elements come together here in that third depth. Mary referred to it as our key energy, KEYQIKI, key energy. And so you think about third depth, there's some, so that the magic of the mediator, the gallbladder, the liver of life, right? We have to have the liver of life in order to have that life breath breathing body. And we come into lung, so there's this relationship. But what always felt mysterious for me is the gallbladder. There's no, like, we see liver comes into lung, but when you get to the textbooks, it goes diaphragm, umbilicus, which are sixth depth, blueprint, source energy, and then it becomes gallbladder. So I'm going to jump around now with a couple different slides, because to me, that's like part of the mystery of this organ function energy that we call the gallbladder. And so I'm going to scroll quickly through here to umbilicus function energy. Let's see, where's my umbilicus? Diaphragm, umbilicus. So if you look at umbilicus function energy, and the slide before, you'll see diaphragm becomes umbilicus at the lateral ring fingernail. And so then umbilicus is the one that becomes the gallbladder function energy. So again, that umbilicus, how we use the gifts that we are given, it combines upper, middle, and lower burner. And then I want to go to the let me escape this and go to gallbladder function energy just to show the little piece right here. So it's umbilicus that becomes gallbladder function energy at the lower eyelid. So right here at that lower eyelid in the head. And, Mary says life enters and exits the body here at the fours. We associate that with livers, but right here where gallbladder or umbilicus becomes the gall. And so I just, I find this really mysterious. I find this very exciting. And when I think about the gallbladder, it's the only one of the organs that produces a pure substance, and that's the bile. And the bile is what helps us to break down and digest food, starches, all of the things that we're going to take in for life sustenance. I also think it's related to the connective tissue and the fascia in the body, in terms of it's everywhere in the body, and it's coming from that 6-step source, that blueprint. We come into the gallbladder. And so I just find it a very mysterious piece. So bitter taste in mouth, big size, no luster. You look at all the different possibilities here. And then also gallbladder on the is TV10 or ring finger when we look at the spine.
No, I think you mean TV9 there.
Oh, did I say TV10?
Yeah,
9. Yeah. TV9 is liver. TV10 is
oh, sorry, I was looking at the 10 on
TV10 is gallbladder.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, here it is in big right there. Can you see that?
Yeah, I was looking at the other chart.
Yeah. And yes, there's the many different relationships. You're right, Terry. And so, and on the main central level, we have ring finger, 4th lumbar, safety energy lock 14, our critical age 4 to 5. And on the all combined timing, it's at the tip of the tailbone. And look at how important that is for the key energy of life. Mary was constantly checking the tailbone. And if you look at the flow pattern, it goes through lumbar 4. We always say, check gallbladder when people have low back issues. Same with that mediator flow. We are constantly checking, if somebody has a lumbar 4, L5 injury, I go to the mediator flow and or a gallbladder. And you think about it on a astrological, it's Aquarian, and Aquarius is the one that says, I know, right? They just know. And I feel like there's a field of knowing. And truly the gallbladder is the one that helps us to make the decision. And in Chinese, Dan means courage, and gallbladder is the courage to make those decisions. And the courage, I think about 3rd depth, and gallbladder is the courage to live our true life path, right? And so you have courage of the gallbladder and liver, the key energy to live. So gotta have that key energy. So we check the tailbone, we check the back of the head, the 4s. And now that little place underneath the eye, how important that one is. To me, it's all mystery. It's all a big mystery, the gallbladder relationship from 6th depth to the 3rd depth. There's some huge transformation that happens with that. Gallbladder performs the same function attributed by its Western medicine. It stores and excretes the bile. Bile, according to Chinese medicine, has a major relationship to the thick fluids, such as cerebrospinal fluid, the marrow, the hormones. Bile is bitter in taste, and its effects is to clear heat and help with the peristalsis. So, interesting. It has a unique role being the only internal organ that is also included with a group of organs referred to as the curious organs. So to me, this feels like somehow pre-existence, part of that ether that comes with us in our body. And the curious organs are responsible for evolution and reproduction of our species. Mary used to call 3rd depth our binder. It holds our soul to the body. And I feel like there's part of that piece with the gallbladder that is in strong relationship to the soul qualities that we come in with. Gallbladder is the link between our normal postnatal life functions and our more urgent evolutionary concerns. It's responsible for our decision-making. Gallbladder is not instinctual, it's conscious in its distinction-making role. For example, the amount of pressure needed to hold a cup, we depend on the gallbladder for that. Gallbladder is capable, though, of compromise and meticulous planning. So it's got this, you know, like really practical, wow, this is the amount of, you know, what I need to physically perform functions in life. Gallbladder represents the concept of choice and signifies intelligence. As we move forward toward a goal, we can change directions when we need to. We can make different choices if needed. We don't have to take things at face value. Gallbladder level of functioning is critical for our survival, and changes can be profound. So this may be more information than we were looking for that third depth in gallbladder, but to me, this is what I've been curious about with it. I still feel like it's such a mysterious place. Gallbladder can make the decision to compromise, which we are half in the present with the awareness that we must change, and half in the past or unwilling to do so. This inability to change gives us a bitter taste towards life, literally and figuratively. You know, remember the little poem about Mrs. Vinegar? She turned to vinegar. You know, she always had a negative attitude about things and saw the negative side. And I just think about all the times in class that Mary just said, you know, change your focus, change your mind. You know, focus on the harmonizing of the body, focus on the harmonizing. We might say visual dizziness, or we're not sensing clearly, or we're disoriented, or you've clouded your perception. And truly, the virtue of the gallbladder is having the decisive and courage to move forward, you know, decisiveness and the courage to move forward. And again, here it is in print. The Dan in Chinese not only means gallbladder, it means courage. The gall, to make significant change, means we have to have the courage to do it. And so I also think about that with safety energy lock 14. You know, I really feel like that's such a connect to the gallbladder. I did a whole series on the fairy tales and like the prince's journey, and having, you know, so in the story of Sleeping Beauty, the prince has to have the courage to cut down the briar rose, even though everybody told him, you know, don't do that, you'll die and be killed like everyone else. And yet it was his destiny. And so he cuts down that briar, he meets the princess, and it's the kiss of consciousness that unites heaven and earth in the body. And so kind of a fun way to look at having the courage to live our lives, comparing it with the fairy tales. Want to see a little bit more?
Keep going.
You what?
I say you keep going.
Okay,
Right.
so here's I'm going to just do the pathway of the gallbladder function energy. I just think it's nice to see it in a visual motion. I did these slides a long time ago, but doing that first little bit, look at from the lower eyelid, it wraps around. So it wraps around. So it's almost like a halo we're putting around the head, right? It just wraps around. Oh, here, I should do my cursor. Can you see my little cursor moving now? And so we've got this motion from that lower eyelid wrapping around. You know, so a high 21 on that. And going through the back of the head, Mary used to always say life enters and exits at the 4s. We see liver begins and ends with 4. And then it goes through the acromion, through that shoulder, And one portion through the 13, through those ribs. And we know that gallbladder is a face flow, but look at the relationship of it going through the ribs, our 13, our most creative process, and into the 14. How we sustain life, how we sustain equilibrium in the body. Through the abdomen, through the umbilicus. What a beautiful flow. And then it's going to wrap to a lumbar 4. We're going to see how this would be an incredible flow pattern to utilize if you had back pain and or pain going down the outer portion of the leg. And it has a relationship with our 16, our foundation. And it's going to go into the ring toe. So we have a relationship with mediator and gallbladder through the 16 and the ring toe. And often when Mary would do body reading, she'd look at that ring toe or the little toe. And if that ring toe was curled under, she'd give homework of mediator or gallbladder flow, right? Because it goes right through at that ring toe. And then it turns over the baton to the liver at that big toe. So we've got this very dynamic, beautiful relationship of the gallbladder function energy. The mysterious flow. Have the courage to live our life. All right, I want to go back to one piece here on this page, because I love showing the self-help. And let's hold the ring finger as an exhale, drop your shoulders. Let's everybody sit back and grab hold of the ring finger. And today, even to hold it this way for that whole grieving process, but we also see it as a relationship in that main central level of harmonizing gallbladder function energy. They're used to say every flow to focus on the exhaling, the letting go, being present with your breath. So really the key of all of JIN SHIN JYUTSU is exhaling, dropping your shoulder, bow the head. That next breath will come in without effort, without trying. Just simply focus on the exhaling, the letting go. And then let's move to the other side, ring finger. You could palm or hold the fourth lumbar. I'm going to put both hands at the same time and palm the area. You could hold both 14s. And if you look in the actual flow pattern of gallbladder function energy, 14 is twice in the flow. So we see, wow, that's really dynamic. We're holding 14 as the quickie, or both sides 14, and 14 is twice in the flow. Anytime I see the same safety energy lock twice in a flow, I'm like, wow, there you go. There's a flow. That's going to be really significant. And here Mary gives the quickie for that as safety energy lock 14. You can also hold the 18 or the thumb, the base of the thumb, as a quick step, self-help. quick step, self-help. And really, you think about liver and gallbladder in our third depth, and it governs the eyes. And so really important flow to do for vision. And when people tell me that they've been wearing glasses or they, certain age it started, I always check the tailbone. And I usually ask, wow, did you land on your tailbone? And they'll get this look in their eye and go, oh my gosh, when I was 8 years old, I bounced down the stairs. Shortly after that, I had to wear my glasses. So I check the tailbone, right? That's a common area of injury and one that I utilize a lot in my practice and on myself, because I feel like gallbladder function energy is so vital and to keeping good eyesight, good vision, and clarity of thinking. And checking the tailbone is, and look, your first steps of the spleen flow, you could do your first steps of gallbladder, and wow, that's a great one that you can utilize to help ourselves. I also, for vision and third depth, I love the 4 with the opposite 21. So back of head, the 4 with the opposite 21. Incredible one for visioning. Use this daily. I'll be 65 this year. I'm getting all the Medicare stuff and in the mail for any of you who are above that age. If you're below that age, oh my gosh, you're going to get it one day. Everybody hits you with all this mail. But I'm amazed at how much I can go without readers or without when I utilize this. And also dietarily, I don't do caffeine of any kind. And I feel like that makes a huge difference. People look at me and go, really? No coffee? I'm like, gosh, no, there is life without it. It never makes me popular.
And you're surrounded by the color violet.
Yeah, and the color for the gallbladder function energy is violet. Interesting. And yet the third depth color is green. Yeah. And then just feel that for a moment. So, and for the gallbladder, you could go high, because remember we said bellicus turns over to the gallbladder right here at the lower eyelid. So when you're holding this would be a great moment to hold a little higher on that area, that 21. You can also go underneath the cheekbone. But this would be a lovely moment to just check in with that just below the eyelid. And especially, if you get a lot of puffiness or swelling underneath the eyes or around that lower bag in the eye, I would have a look at this. Where does that umbilicus turn over to gallbladder? Right here below the eyelid. And then let's just feel that for a moment. See how you feel what just happened in your head while you were holding there. And then let's do the other side. Let's get the other side of this one. I'm guessing everybody could utilize this. Anybody that's been on the computer a lot or straining the eyes for any project, this is going to be a really powerful helper. And we can go high on that or just underneath on the cheekbone for that gallbladder function energy. I want to share one more slide, if I might.
Get right ahead.
I don't know how much time I get, but I'd like to.
You got time.
Okay, hold on. Well, somehow it didn't go to where I wanted. Here we go. So in the circle of things on the chest, finger, face, and toe chart, it goes diaphragm, which is a 6th depth, and umbilicus, 6th depth, gallbladder, 3rd depth. And so we turned over the baton, and again, I wrote high 21 or lower eyelid, gallbladder, and then our 3rd depth, liver. And so we need this key energy to be in order so that we can breathe and digest and be in this full circle relationship. So that's what I was thinking about when you talked about 3rd depth and mediator. I got excited with the relationship from umbilicus, that 6th depth blueprint,
Well, this is different.
to the gallbladder function energy.
Yeah, didn't you say in Chinese medicine
I
they
had-
refer to the gallbladder as a mediator?
Wait a minute, say that again. I couldn't
Didn't you
grasp.
say to me that in Chinese medicine they refer to the gallbladder as a mediator?
Yes, they do. And that was another thing that I thought was really interesting. They refer to the gallbladder as the mediator or the communicator to all the other organs. And the more I think about that in post and pre, I'm like, wow, that's like fascia, that's, and you think about umbilicus, it's upper, middle, and lower burner, it's connecting everything. And I feel like there's a transition of umbilicus to gallbladder in that same way, like a mediator through the body. And mediator goes through the coccyx, it goes through that outer ankle. Let me pull up a mediator flow and I'll show the flow pattern of the mediator. It'd be fun to see it next to gallbladder, but let me go share one more thing. Let me see if I can pull that up because that would be really fun to look at since we're let me see if I can get that in my text. Hold on one second. Maybe take some questions while I'm looking for it, Terry. I don't want to hold you up.
I'm looking, I don't see any.
Okay. I think I've got it. I'm planning on that one, but
Although I have I don't know if it's an aha or what, but in physical terms, the gallbladder the bile is helping break down fat. And of course, fat helps the body keep warm. And I noticed in your relationships, you said that gallbladder can help remove heat. So I'm thinking, yeah, well, if it's breaking down fat, it's gonna remove heat. Is that how you see it?
yes, and let's see. Look. So I'm gonna just show a couple things here, and then I'll come back to that. In the feet, gallbladder, in the self-help books, not only is the gallbladder mediator, is spleen, pancreas, diaphragm, and liver that go through that ring toe. When you look in the self-help books, there's the list of things through that ring toe. And safety energy lock 16, it's gallbladder, bladder, mediator, supervisor, all go through that 16. So really dynamic. I mean, you could hold your 4th toe and that 16 and have huge shift. You could do that as a self-help. And then, and with all the relationships of gallbladder and mediator right there at that 4th toe, let me show the mediator flow. That's where I was going to go, but of course I had to stop there. Here's my mediator. Okay, so can you see it up on the screen now?
Yeah.
Blank body with the mediator. And Mary
well,
used to say, this being mediator flow, if it's not in harmony, will be the main cause for malfunction in the body, energy circulation pattern. And so here we go. Birthplace of the mediator is the 3. In an anatomically correct position, it would be up this way. So it rises to that little finger. So it goes through that little finger. This is the left flow only being illustrated. So it goes through the acromion, through the chest, crosses that 13, wraps around that 14 to the 23, or the hip line, into the coccyx. It goes down through the 8, where supervisor goes up through that 8.
the
It goes
green's
through that 16. Say that again, Terry.
the green's a bit faint on my screen.
Well, I can't do anything about that at the
Yeah,
moment. but-
no, I just, I can see the flow, but it's a little faint.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then it's going to go up through the 1, where supervisor goes down through the 1. So when you hold your 1s, which are you helping?
Both.
Yeah. And then it goes through at the pubic bone, and then it's going to come really close to the spine. So we can see how mediator flow would be amazing helper for back pain, shoulder discomfort, carpal tunnel. It goes through that thumb. And again, through that acromion, cross at the chest. It's going to wrap around and now come through the other hip. This is one flow pattern being illustrated. There's the mediator. So just one side of the left flow of mediator. So who doesn't need a mediator flow, right? This helps with all the attitudes, helps to harmonize the whole body. But you can see how this would be amazing for shoulder pain. So if you look at the description on the mediator, discomfort of the fingers, nose that clog, shoulder discomfort, and eye projects. Let's go look at that. Where's my mediator page? Hold on, I've lost my page of the actual flow pattern. I've got so many slides in here. Oh, here we go. I went the wrong direction. So you're going to see shoulder discomfort, eye discomfort, fingers that swell, and a nose that clogs. So that mediator flow pattern. Here's the picturing of it. I just animated it so I could see all the dynamic relationships. And so that's how it moves through the body. I don't know if you can see my cursor, Terry, but I'm just following the pattern as it is in the book. And so I just animated that drawing with all the arrows in their order.
Yeah, I saw it and then it disappeared. So
It's right here.
Nothing's moving.
So I was just following it like this. Can you see that?
I cannot.
Oh,
Maybe it's my screen. Can anybody else see the movement?
No,
oh, okay. Well, I showed it in the flow pattern, but you
Yeah.
can follow it. So dynamic. We are so lucky to have these, and truly you probably already did the self-help for the mediator.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that one where you can.
Well, I didn't do the one with putting the 6 against the knee.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling that rubber.
So So you can put your 6 on the 1, you hold your thumb over the ring fingernail and your hand over the shoulder.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a great way to do a self-help mediator. Oh, I got homework in the shoulder.
I got homework on my knees.
Yeah, let me get my boots off and stay a while.
Yes,
We
time
do it on the other side.
to remove shoes.
And there's our quick steps to mediator function energy. Well, do we have any questions while we're holding these? Anything anybody wants to ask? If I kind of went over on our timing, but
Oh, you know, there's still time. Someone, Yona said, I have all kinds of whiplash in the body. And this was absolutely profound. So that's a confirmation of using.
yeah, both would be amazing.
Hmm.
I want to share one more piece then. Also for whiplash, you can use your 10 flow. But I want to go back to the gallbladder. Oops, I want to go back to gallbladder flow for just a minute and show one other piece.
Harry, I just want to say that somebody has put their hand up.
Yeah, I noticed that actually, but I was waiting for Sarah to.
So
Yes,
this
it's
flow
true.
also quite amazing for whiplash. Look at how it goes through the neck and the lower back. But yeah, go ahead, raise your, we can unmute and ask the question.
Diagnostics, I think it was someone.
Yeah.
who-
My name is Ing, I-N-G. I had a question about the self-help. We're talking today, you're saying the self-help for mediators having the foot on the 1, right? The
Yeah.
6 on the 1 and the ring finger and the shoulder. And yet I'm also seeing places where it's talking about the mediator can be both knees together. and
It can
holding.
be both knees together, absolutely.
So both ways are good. It's not.
Absolutely.
Because I thought the knees together were the, I can't think of the word.
Supervisor.
Supervisor, thank you for helping.
So the supervisor, the birthplace of the supervisor is safety energy lock 1. So this flow helps both supervisor and mediator. So, and if you think about it, there's many levels where it's not only supervisor, but it's mediator and main central. So I'm going to break down each one. Safety energy lock 3 is the birthplace of the mediator. When I put my thumb over the ring fingernail, I have a relationship. Diaphragm goes into both of these fingers and it turns over the baton to the umbilicus here at the ring finger. Mediator goes through the thumb and little finger. So when I put my thumb over the ring fingernail, I'm also helping diaphragm and umbilicus. I'm helping mediator. And on a second depth level, I'm helping lung and large intestine. 3 is the birthplace of the mediator. It's also a respiratory specialist. And at the same time, I'm palming 11, which helps me to unload all excess baggage. And 11 and 15 are part of that clearing the supervisor. When I put my knees together, there's safety energy lock 1, the supervisor level. And when I put my 6 on that 1, whether I do it this way or this way, I'm helping. We already saw supervisor goes down through there, mediator goes up through there. So I'm going to be helping both relationships of supervisor and mediator when I help the ones. So when you start looking at the relationship of all of these flows, it's so dynamic. And the fact that Mary made it so simple for us, so basic, so simple. And then on top of that, if I'm putting my 6 on my 1, and 6 is the number that harmonizes our 4th depth, and it's the bridge between the material and energetic body, I've helped both bridges of 6, from 6th depth. The 3rd depth, key energy coming in, and 4th depth, the bridge between the material and energetic body. So, wow, you can take your choice on that. You can take your choice on how it's related, but it's truly what a brilliant self-help Mary came up with for us. I think she was genius. When you start really studying the self-help books and you look at all the relationships and the flows and the dynamic patterns, it's incredible. What a gift we have. What a treasure. We got the keys. As Mary said, we got the keys to the kingdom of heaven through this. And I really feel like, wow, what a gift self-help has been, and JIN SHIN JYUTSU in my life. I love the flows. I love the self-help. It's incredible. Terry and I have taught self-help classes together for years. It's been amazing. I love my...
It's been a while, but we did do it for a long time.
For many, many years, we had a class going at the JIN SHIN JYUTSU office. We need to do another one online, Terry, for people. It's been an incredible, Terry, an incredible privilege to work with you. Very fun. Yeah. I appreciate you doing this every week and keeping people connected that way. It's really lovely.
Well, thank you for coming so frequently and supporting it, and that is really helpful. So thank you.
Yeah. So we'll be looking at this weekend on Saturday. If you want to come to the webinar, I'll be talking about all kinds of stuff in that. So will Jill. And I have a monthly organ flow class if you're interested in coming, and a regular self-help class that I do. So, and love being with you all.
Do you want me to just show them the ad for that on the JIN SHIN site?
Do I what?
Do you want me to show the advertisement for that?
Yeah, they probably get it in their email, or they can go to my website, exhalejsj.com.
There it is. Tomorrow, there it is. Building, Forming and Creating a Life, the Process of Generation, with Sara and Jill. And
basically, we're going to be looking at face flows and finger flows. So the descending part of that chart, regeneration. So we're going to be looking at that. We did chest and toe flows for one, the ascending, and now we're going to look at the descending and how it helps with all renewing of the body and the mighty powers of the mind.
Beautiful. And your organizer is Debbie, who's here, by the way.
And Debbie is here in the room, and so she'll be there for that. If you want to come.
Register by clicking on there. The ad is probably on the JIN SHIN JYUTSU Spirit, Mind, Body site as well, isn't it?
Yes, it's on the JIN SHIN JYUTSU website. It's on my website, the exhalejsj.com.
Right. And then coming up after that, following Friday, is Susie, who you've all met a couple of times on Harmonize2Energize. She's going to be doing her very first 5-day online. I think the very first is often the very special one. So if any of you are new, or if you can join us, myself and Lisa Gritton will be hosting Susie next Friday. So that's also...
I would love to say Susie has taught in several of my classes, and she's fabulous. She's a ton of fun. And by all means, if you need a 5-day, get in with Susie. She's delightful. She's been a longtime student and practitioner, and Lisa Gritton is tons of fun. So you guys, Terry will be organizing. It'll be great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're all looking forward to it. And For those of you that are wondering, yes, there are some CEUs, and we'll give you that information if it's not here, because it isn't. But you'll also get 3 months of replays. So if you have to miss a part of the class, don't worry, you can catch up on the replay. All right. Okay, well, thank you, Sarah, and thank you, everybody. I'm going to, as part of what we do, Harmonize2Energize generally, is we connect with somebody if it's their birthday or they got a project, or everybody together. I think on behalf of Sarah and Shaq, I think let's all just place our palms facing Sarah, connect if you wish, thumb to thumb, and imagine you're connecting in a circle of light to everybody here who's on the webinar. And we'll just breathe out and just relax, feel your feet on the ground, sit up as straight as you can, and allow the universal seventh depth energy to circulate through your solar plexus and up through your arms, the jumper cable, towards Sarah and Shaq. Here we go. So as you give, as in JIN SHIN JYUTSU, you receive, the energy circulates around us all. So maybe we can just bring our hands together now to complete the circle here, palm to palm, which connects us to the main central the oneness, and we give thanks for the energy, for Sara for bringing her insights on the gallbladder flow and third depth today, and the mediator, and for Mary and Jiro, who brought the knowledge, or from Mary, who brought it to the West, and Jiro, who began the exploration all those years ago. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody. Special thank you to Sara and Shaq. And we'll say au revoir. We'll see you again next Friday, same time, 2 p.m. New York time. Visit with Sara and Jill tomorrow, if you will. And in the meantime, be well, be in the harmony. And have a good rest of the day.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sara.
Thank you.
Stop the recording.